5 doubts regarding the fundamental truths having been resolved. The last and seminal doubt, way of liberation, means of liberation, path of liberation. The disciple is having some doubts regarding this last fundamental truth. We have been seeing the worthiness of the disciple, means he's having all the attributes of an Atmarthi Jeev. Unflinching faith in his Sadguru. When he presents his doubt, it seems this crisis is not going to be resolved. But his faith, that his Sadguru will help him develop that firm conviction. So we can see the love for the Sadguru, we can see that unflinching faith for the Sadguru, we can see his worthiness, we can see his intelligence in presenting the confusion, and we can also see the humility. So he is like a child who has just learned how to walk, stand on his feet and walk, because he's asking of such metaphysical issues, right? And now he wants to run. And he has no fear of falling, because he knows his mother has held his hands. And you'll gradually see, પહેલાના એરપોર્ટ્સ કેવા હતા ખબર છે? You check in, security check થઈ જાય, and you are waiting in the lounge, and then તમારી ફ્લાઇટની અનાઉન્સમેન્ટ થાય કે જે હવે આ બ્રિટિશ એરવેઝમાં જેને જવાનું હોય બધા ભેગા થાવ વગેરે, proceed towards the gate. Now you see all the airports are silent airports. Most of the airports are silent airports. No announcements will be made. Signboards will be there. You go to the signboard, find out. And airports are silent. Gongad, noisy airports. In the same way, you will see how the noise suddenly, or say not suddenly, gradually stops when one by one all the doubts are clear. You will see his devotion is without noise, becomes silent. So आज इसका एयरपोर्ट ની વાત આવી હતી તો I'm saying, yeah, I remember silent airport હતો and we went off to sleep, jet lag ના કારણે, and there was no announcement. You had to be, means, whatever. But this gradually happens. First, there's a lot of noise, I have many questions, etc. And slowly, gradually, as your confusion gets resolved, you become more and more silent, and there is stillness within. But of course, he's having some doubts, but he has no fear that he's going to remain confused. How strongly he's presenting his doubts, but that much firm faith he has in his Guru that nothing is going to remain, not an iota of confusion will remain once my Guru starts speaking. So, regarding path of liberation, unfailing, undisputed path of liberation. And both these words Param Kripadeva has put in Atma Siddhi Shastra in Gujarati. Achuk upay, so unfailing, achuk will never fail, unfailing. Avirodha upay, undisputed. Any enlightened person of any religion, faith, any place, time, will agree to what is said here. So, regarding that undisputed path of liberation, he is having some doubts. Fearlessly. Why fearlessly? Because usually the problem is ego is more important to us than a quest for knowledge. So everything is censored. Your feelings are masked. But here the Shishya does not want to do all this. Whatever is within him, fearlessly, because of his faith, his love, his devotion towards the Guru. So he's presenting his confusion in the form of 3 arguments regarding the doubt. What is the doubt? There seems to be no undisputed path to moksha or path of liberation. What is the fundamental truth? There is a path to of liberation. What is the doubt? There seems to be no undisputed or unfailing or right path of liberation. The truth is there is. The doubt is there is no. And why are you feeling this way? So he's presenting this doubt or this confusion in the form of 3 arguments stated in verse 92, 93 and 94. So we already finished with 92 and 93. In verse 92, karma's accumulated sins infinite times, or say countless past lives, and constantly adding. How can it be annihilated or destroyed in such a short lifespan, human birth? So, if at all there is a path, still how is this going to be possible? Number 1. That was stated in verse 92. And in verse 93, he's saying there's plethora of opinions, multiple opinions, that too diverse opinions. And it is very difficult to determine which path is correct, worthy of adoption for liberation. So it's been saying there are many, many philosophies, many, many religions, and the exposition regarding the path of liberation is not only different, it is diverse. And all the opinions are filled with verbal promises. They offer a lot of dreams. A disciple is a studious fellow. He doesn't enjoy watching Netflix or anything. If he has time, he wants to study different philosophies, religions, teachings of the masters, enlightened masters. So he is a studious guy. He has studied many, many philosophies and faiths. And because of the multiple views, he is confused. And he wants to know if there is a path, and that too a universally accepted path, undisputed path of liberation. So though he is saying that I feel there seems to be no undisputed path, in the heart of his heart, he is so sure that this is my confusion right now, but my Guru will surely, because he is not saying out of blind faith. He has experienced it. From January he has experienced it. So આવું જ confusion cyclone હતું, and everything was so beautiful once the Guru answers and gives replies so systematically, so confidently, experiential knowledge. And so he does feel that અત્યારે મને ખબર નથી આવું કંઈક છે, પણ હોય તો મને સમજાવો. I want to know, not only know, pursue the path and attain liberation. Okay, so let's start with the last argument, 90, verse 94. So the thoughtful disciple is a studious one also, and he's a thoughtful disciple, has studied several religions, philosophy, and is aware of their beliefs. He is confused by the differences in the path of liberation propounded by them, and therefore feels there is no undisputed path of liberation. Putting forth the third argument in support of his doubt, he says,
કઈ જાતિમાં મોક્ષ છે, કયા વેશમાં મોક્ષ, એનો નિશ્ચય ના બને, ઘણા ભેદ એ દોષ.
કઈ જાતિમાં? So kai means which. Jati, it can mean caste or gender. Moksha che leads to liberation. Which caste is necessary to attain liberation? Because if I don't belong to that caste, and if a particular people of that caste are only worthy of liberation, then liberation is not for me. So, which caste or gender leads to liberation? Kaya veshma, vesh meaning garb, apparel, attire, dress, clothing. So, which garb leads to liberation? Kaya veshma, moksha. Eno nischay, to decide it. Na bane is not possible, meaning extremely difficult. Why? Why is this so? Ghana bed, lot of differences in opinion, that is the problem. E dos che. If it was only one, I had to choose whether I want to lead a spiritual life or a religious life or a worldly life. But there are so many differences in opinion, and that is the problem, that is the greatest fault of this mark. Not mine. In last verse I said, that is because I have lack of discriminating power, so a banena a vivek, I can't decide. Here he's saying, because of these multiple views, opinions, it's difficult for me. So, short meaning, very simple. Which caste or clothes are required to attain liberation? CC. So in the word-to-word meaning, there were different letters, but here he'll ask what two C's was the issue of the disciple regarding liberation. So he wants to know which caste or clothes are required to attain liberation. Because of the diverse opinions, it is extremely difficult to determine the undisputed path of liberation. So, the disciple continues to describe his problem as a third argument. Problem is only one. I don't find any undisputed path of liberation. So the doubt is only this much. There is no undisputed path of liberation. Then the first argument, the second argument, and now the third and the last argument. So many religions, Every religion has so many sects. Islam, Shia Sunnis, Christians, Catholics, Protestants, many Puritans, and many. Then Hindus, Shaivites and Vaishnavas. Jains, Shwetambar and Digambar. Buddhism, Mahayana and Hinayan, the smaller wheel and the bigger wheel. So every religion has many sects. Every sect has subsects. Shwetambar, subsects. Mandir Margi or Murti Pujak or Deravasi, one. Sthanakwasi or Dhundia. Then Terapanthi. Again in Deravasi, Tapagach, Khartargach, Achalgach, etc. Again in Tapagach, Ek Tithi, Be Tithi. Some don't believe in Mupatti. Some believe only during some religious or some rituals you need to have as a householder. Some say you have to tie it. Some say it should be like this. Some say it should be long this way. So many sects. Each of them state that the path of liberation is within their perimeter. The way we expound is the path. There are multiple opinions regarding castes and attire, or dress, or clothes, or garb. Multiple opinions. And it's being extremely difficult for the disciple to understand what is the correct method. And I feel the disciple's confusion is also justifiable. His confusion is justifiable. Why? Because he is caught in the external manifestations of the faiths. Otherwise, this confusion wouldn't be there. But he is caught in the external manifestations, or he is entangled in the web of external norms, disciplines, culture. Rules तो नहीं बोला है कि government नहीं. So, you understand? External. He has forgotten the most important aspect of spirituality, and that is keeping oneself open to divinity. So I've leaked out the answer. What is the Guru going to reply? Don't get caught in the external. Focus on your inner purity. This is going to be the reply. So now if that inner purity is going to lead you to liberation, see, I have not even explained the confusion, and I am already explained the conclusion. See again. Hajito, I have not explained this verse, but what is the Guru going to explain? That I am telling you. Okay? It is the inner purity which leads one to liberation. So what difference does it make? Which caste you belong and what clothes you have been donning? It doesn't matter. I have always asked when I am in USA, in so many satsangs, my first question would be, what makes the balloons go high in the skies? What makes the balloons go, or say rise in the skies? The external or the internal? The color, the design, the shape, that makes it go high in the skies? Or the inner? Gas, he's saying, so gas. What? Unanimous answer? It's the internal. Exactly. Your inner purity is going to liberate you, not your dress and not your caste. So, do you want a detailed explanation of this verse? Because the answer is already very, very clear to you, maybe the confusion won't be clear to you. So he has been hearing so much, he has studied so much, so this confusion. So I'm saying it's justifiable because so much of do's and don'ts he has read. And now again multiple and now opposite. Some say you need to wear white. Some say you need to be unclad if you want to attain moksha. So now he's confused, but he's confused because he's caught in the external manifestations of the faith. Every faith will have internal and external. Even your gift has a wrapper. ગમે તેટલી નાની ચીજ હોય કે મોટી ચીજ હોય, you want to give something to snail by, you need a good bag. So you cannot just, wrap it up like this, snail by, get up. This is your gift. ચાલે આવો? I'll lead this to the end of the pravachan. So every faith will have something. You can't just go without that. And once there are many sadhaks, if it's an organized group, you will have to have that in black and white. Internal you can say in pravachans. You see, તમારા રૂમમાં એક લિસ્ટ હશે, the rules of do's and don'ts or something. That is in black and white. But you should be a nice guy. That is not there in black and white. But shorts પહેરાય કે ના પહેરાય, ને પેલું પહેરાય કે ના પહેરાય, that has to be in black and white. This is inevitable. When there are so many people, સમજો you are in Canada અને કે તમારે લેફ્ટમાં ડ્રાઈવ કરવો હોય તો લેફ્ટમાં કરો ને રાઈટમાં કરવો હોય તો રાઈટ. This freedom cannot be given. It will cause accidents and the society will decay. But overemphasis on the external, forgetting the internal, is decay of spirituality. Organization will thrive. But humanity or spirituality will decay and die. Correct? Very clear? So this fellow's confusion is very, very justifiable because he has read only about the external norms and external manifestations of the faith, and so he's confused. But he has faith in his guru, so he's saying, you will resolve this crisis of mine. It's an inner crisis, it's a spiritual crisis. Nothing, no money crisis, nothing, no problem outside. The biggest problem inside, because I don't know what to do with this human birth. Till I don't know what the path of liberation is, the undisputed path of liberation, I just don't know how to use this rare opportunity or this human birth. I just don't know what to do with my energy. So I need to, so he's saying, કઈ જાતિમાં આમ કરતા રહેશો તો જ મોડી થશે. કઈ જાતિમાં મોક્ષ છે, કયા વેશમાં મોક્ષ છે. How we'll say, which mantra should I chant? What nityakram should I do? What should I read? How should I meditate? So all these are actually unimportant spiritual questions. But you will have to start with something external. Something where your body is engaged, your mind is engaged, your speech is engaged. Man, vachan, kaya has to be engaged, and then slowly you withdraw from there. So your questions in the initial, how everyone would come to me, kai book વાંચું અહીંયા? અહીંયા વરસ થઈ ગયું, nobody has asked me. Because you have become spiritual. Whatever I read, this should be the outcome. Now you're so clear. So now that pehli book vacho ki aa book vacho is not important to you. Or you have become lazy, one of the two. But I'm an optimistic fellow. So I feel you have become so spiritual that all this is now not so important to you. And that's exactly how the Guru is going to resolve this crisis so beautifully, without denying any external manifestations. He is going to focus on the internal purity. How to attain the purity, what is his verification, everything will be beautifully answered, and then see how he flows. So, first one. Kai jati ma moksha se. So, jati means, jati has two meanings, either caste or gender. So, let's take the first one. Kai jati ma means in which caste should I be born to attain liberation. So, now what is this caste? Maybe the NRIs wouldn't even know what is the caste. It's simply an arrangement in the society. So it was a division of the society for practical purposes. It was the demand of the time then, when this caste system originated, especially in India. Caste system. So the whole society, say, was divided into four. For practical purposes, for the benefit of the society. તમારી પાસે આ ટેલેન્ટ છે, you use this, society will progress. You have this talent, you have a teaching talent, you do this work. You have this talent, you do this work, so the ashram will thrive. So completely for the benefit of the society, years back, thousands of years back, this caste system or caste arrangement originated in India. It was the demand of the time, and it was for the benefit of the society, the growth of the society. And so it was divided into four: the Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So Brahmins were the people who handled the religion, rituals, puja, pravachan, etc. So they could give a direction to the society. How much ever the society is financially fine, everything is nice, but if it does not continuously be guided, navigated, get a direction, so there should be one class who is deep into religion and shows the right way. If I have to earn, if I have to do all the household work, everything if I have to do, then my teaching talents will not thrive. Right? So I should focus on this and deliver this. So that was the work of the Brahmin class. Then there was the Kshatriyas, who were the rulers or the warriors, who had to guard the frontiers, who had to protect the society from any. So protection, ruling, it had to do the work of the legislature, executive and judiciary. Make rules, see that it is executed and followed, and punish the lawbreakers. So there has to be one dedicated group who looks deeply into it. You make rules without understanding the needs of the people. Like Apurvaji sits here and just starts making rules and he doesn't know the ground reality. Will it work? No. And he makes rules but does not see whether it is executed. Will it work? No. And he knows that it is not executed, but he does not do anything. Will it work? No. Some won't get rewarded, some won't get punished. So there has to be a dedicated group who rules, or or the ruler class or the warrior class. So Brahmins, so say the priests or preachers, and who constantly give direction to the subjects of the society. Then there is the ruling class, the warrior class, who protects. So that way also society benefits. Then this is the third, who handle the finances, the financial growth of the society, businessmen, trade and commerce. Because any society will also need to be financially strong. So while they protect, while they guide, they interact, and so that's the business class. And the last are the Shudras. Shudras are the labor class. Someone needs to do, no? He must have just ordered कि यहाँ कबाट बनवू જોઈએ. But someone has to make it, no? So if there is no definite group, he has several other things to manage. But there has to be some group who is the labor class, Shudra. So it was a beautiful division. Everything was in harmony. The society was actually progressing financially, spiritually, in every matter. But as time went on, values started decreasing, and especially the new, with the new generation, new values are established according to the times, and the old gets forgotten. So what happened? The Brahmins started to lose their balance. Ahankar, Abhiman, conceit. So they would scorn the Shudras, ridicule them, achut, low class. Names gone changing, scheduled caste, etc., etc. And they would scorn, and they were not allowed to enter the temples. They cannot chant the mantras of the Vedas. Whatever Tulsidas ji must be having in his mind, in his heart, regarding the word Shudra, Tadan ke kaj, marwa જોઈએ. But he must be having the right meaning. But if you read Ramcharitmanas, to Shudra Tadan ke kaj. You understand? But what does he mean by Shudra? If you don't understand this by a Sadguru, of course you are going to be misguided. But it so happened they could not listen to scriptures, they could not even chant the mantras of the Vedas, they could not even enter the temples. Why I am saying this? All this is being studied by the disciple, and now he wants to know who is worthy of attaining liberation. Because some believe only Brahmins are worthy of liberation. Some believe anyone who develops those virtues within him are worthy of liberation. Some say Shudras are not worthy of liberation. You are understanding? Only the upper class is worthy of liberation, and the lower class is not worthy of liberation. While some say, Uttaradin Sutra says, you may belong to any caste, but if you have those virtues within you, if you have cultivated the virtues within them, which is needed for liberation, you can be liberated. So now this is disputed. It's not undisputed. It's not universally approved one answer. So the disciple is confused. Kai jati ma moksha chhe? Because some are not even allowed to enter the temples. And some Shastra says that even they have attained liberation. Which Muni? Harikesh Muni. Uttaradin Sutra. He belonged to the scheduled caste. But Rag Dvesh ne Agnan gaya, so he attained omniscience. He was liberated. So now the disciple is confused. It's better before you put in efforts, you are clear about which caste do you need to belong to attain liberation. And second meaning of jati is gender, 3, male, female, neuter. કઈ જાતિમાં મોક્ષ છે? Because a disciple has heard or read or studied, some scripture says they rather restrict the eligibility to attain moksha only males, females, gender, neuter gender, they cannot attain liberation. So it's better to know now, before you put in efforts, whether this, if you belong to the female gender, if you are a woman, can you attain liberation or not? They do not accept Marudevi Mata. They attained Keval Gnan or moksha. They don't believe Chandan Bala attained moksha. They don't believe Mrugavati attained moksha. So Mallinath Bhagwan was a female Tirthankar. So whether if there are differences in the historical examples, it is fine. What is the philosophy? Can females who are putting in the right effort, can they attain liberation or not? So, kai jati ma moksha che? Jati meaning caste or jati meaning gender. Just as there are various opinions or prejudices regarding the caste you belong to be worthy of liberation, similarly, there are differences of opinions regarding the attire, the garb, the clothing. See, every religion or say every sect or even say subsect or say any big group will start with inner purification. The teachings will being very appealing. Lot of people join the group, and then you need something for identification. I think this is absolutely natural, logical. Jail ma bhi you find a uniform. All the prisoners, some are in chania choli, some are in Punjabi, everyone has a particular dress. Male prisoners, female prisoners, they have a dress. A uniform apne kahiye. Because it's common, so we will say common dress or uniform. So that is maybe needed for identification. What's wrong in that? Why do you need to oppose this? You work on your inner purity, no? Hospitals. Have you seen someone coming in maxi, some sister, nurse, and maxi perine, mini perine, whatever? There is a uniform, a dress. So it's easy to be identified. So this is the need of this society maybe. Not a need of liberation, but of an organization, institution, or say a society. The moment you see someone with mala and something, some case or something, you know that person has to be respected. That person can help you, guide you. You can ask for advice, etc. So what's wrong? It's so easy to identify that person. So what's wrong? Jails, hospitals, police. કોઈ બી માણસ ટી શર્ટ અને ચડ્ડી પહેરીને આવીને કે એ ગાડી બાજુ પર રાખો, તમે ફૂલ સ્પીડમાં લઈ લેશો. એક યુનિફોર્મ જોઈને તમે મરી ગયા. You don't know that person. You don't know his caste, his name, nothing you know. And still, दूरથી જોઈને કે મરી ગયા, કે હવાલદાર કે ટ્રાફિક પોલીસ કે જે તમને બોલવું હોય. So what is the uniform, or say little similar to fellowship or something? Half pant and all? Which color? ટ્રાફિકના કયા અને પેલા which color? Say khaki. But if you go to Calcutta, white. White uniform છે. So, you have some problem in that? They have decided that our whole city will be white and blue, or rather blue. Mother Teresa mati inspiration લઈને from airport ની બહાર નીકળો and you'll see only two colors, white and blue. And હવે તો રહેશે બીજું 5 વર્ષ. So Didi also wears that. And so any problem you're having, they have decided that our police will be, Amari taxis of which color? Calcutta taxis. Yellow color. Yellow ambassadors. Mumbai taxis. Yellow and black. Fiat. He said Fiat. London ni black and kiwi. એકદમ વિન્ટેજ કાર જેવી તો નહીં, પણ ડિફરન્ટ. આપણે જોઈને ખબર પડી જાય આ ટેક્સી છે. ન્યુયોર્કની યેલો, પણ ડિફરન્ટ શેપ એક્સેક્ટ. સો એવી રીતે યુનિફોર્મ હોય. ઇઝ ઇટ easy to identify a cab che, a taxi che? So what's wrong? Why are you even opposing? That shows your focus is not with it. This rag also and this dvesh also. If you say you need this particular attire to attain moksha, then also you're a fool. And I don't believe in all this attire. Mahafool. If you are separate from the body, so whatever is on the body, what difference does it make to you? Stay detached, no? You want me to wear this? Okay, I'll wear this. You want me to tie my whole, cover my head or anything? I'm ready, because it doesn't matter to me. If everything you feel, oh God, again my freedom is broken, then you are not a spiritual person. Because a spiritual person ને rules follow કરવું is very easy. એને એવું લાગતું જ નથી કે મારી freedom હણાય છે. Because it doesn't matter. Why do you make an issue of it? But then why is this disciple doing so much? He's taking so much time. So why is he caught in this external? Because of multiple views. So Aji is not clear about external and internal and what is important for liberation. So he feels all this is a must. Okay. So you will see everyone has a uniform which is fine for identification. Schools. After school mein jata tha, we had a uniform. Did we oppose? No. Some have a lot of ahankar for their uniform. અમારે તો ટાઈ પહેરવાની હોય. Every time નેમીજી asked me, તમારે ટાઈ પહેરવાની હોય? મેં કીધું ના, અમારે ટાઈ નહોતી. અમારે તો બધું ટાઈ વાઈ પહેરવાની છે. So that's also wrong, right? Not only the attire, the color of the attire also. If you see the Hindu monks, Hindu sadhus, saffron color. If you see the Buddhist, yellow color. If you see the Shwetambar Jains, I should not say, Jain Shwetambars I should say, but now for all practical purposes, Shwetambar Jain. Jain is a religion and Shwetambar is a sect. So it should be identified as Jain Shwetambar, say Dharamshala or Jain Shwetambar Mandir. Shwetambar Jain means the sect is more important than religion itself. So Digambar Jain is not a right thing. Jain Digambar, but this is prevalent. So I don't want to even analyze why. તમને સત્ય ખબર છે તો તમે એ રીતે કરો. Okay, fine. So while the Shwetambar Jains will say white attire, You want to be a sadhu, you can't wear anything else, white attire. And the Digambar will say you have to be unclad. I'm not using the word nudity, but nudity bolo ke naked. Without being nude or naked, you can't attain moksha. Because without being nude, you are not a real sadhu. And if you are not a sadhu, how will you become siddha? You understand? So I'm confused. Should I wear saffron, ochre, red, yellow, white, or unclad? આ તો એટલા એક્ઝામ્પલ મેં આપ્યા છે ખાલી. સો કાસ્ટનો એક તો પ્રોબ્લેમ હતો. કાસ્ટ meaning the division of this society, the family status વગેરે. So that was then the gender, then the attire, and the color of the attire. Color of the attire. Oh God. While some say liberation can be attained even if you remain as an householder, you don't need to become a sadhu. Some say that. Some say without the attire of a monk, you cannot be a guru, you cannot become a siddha. You have to have the attire of તો કે દશા છે ને, તો કે દશા બશા કંઈ નહીં. દશા છે ને પણ કંઈ નહીં, સાધુ નથી ને. Show me the Mupatti. Show me the Rajoharan. So he doesn't have the dress, he's not a sadhu. So he cannot become a siddha also. So while some insist a householder can also attain liberation, some say without donning the attire of a monk, and that to the attire of our sect. So if we say white, it has to be white. If we say unclad, it has to be unclad. If we say white with a tinge of yellow, then that is so. That is it. Oh God. They believe that only if you perform the ritual of our sect and wear the attire of our sect can you attain liberation. You need to be loyal to the sect first. આત્માને લોયલ થાવ કે ના, આત્મ સ્વભાવને લોયલ થાવ કે નહીં, optional. You can be in swabhav, you can be in vibhav, that is optional. But you have to be loyal to the norms nahi rituals, nahi attire. You have to be loyal to the attire of the sect to attain liberation. If you embrace any other ritual or dress not propounded by this sect, you are not worthy of attaining. Liberation has become a commodity, and these religious orders or sects have become advertising houses. અમારું લો તો જ તમારું કામ થાય. અમારું વોશિંગ પાવડર વાપરો છો? No, then you'll become Hiral's dress. Light brownish, you have to use our washing powder. So all these now, number one, there are many sects and many external norms. Secondly, diverse. Third, insistence on their dress only. Three things. Many, opposite or diverse, multiple, mutual, contradictory, and insistence, this only. So he's saying, I'm confused, the disciple says. If a path of liberation does exist, then why is not everybody saying the same thing? Forget every preacher, at least enlightened masters, all enlightened masters should say one. If there are enlightened Hindu masters, enlightened Buddhist masters, enlightened Shwetambar masters, enlightened Digambar masters, at least all these have to say, expound one thing. I'm not thinking about every preacher or every priest. who is ignorant, but who is enlightened, at least they should be saying the same thing. And because there are various this thing, I don't feel, I'm confused. The Shishya is saying, I'm confused because of the differences. Therefore, I feel there is no undisputed path. Since there are so many differences, mutual contradictory views, multiple opinions, I cannot decide. I don't know what to follow. Because if something doesn't happen, I said, એના કરતા yellow કપડા પહેર્યા હોત તો સારું થાત. પછી yellowમાં કાંઈ ન થાય. તો એમ થાય કે બધા કાઢી નાખો, અનક્લાડ. એમાં કંઈ ન થાય તો કે એના કરતા રેડ પહેરી લ્યો. So I don't know what to follow. I don't see one universally approved undisputed path. Conflict of opinions, diverse opinions is the greatest problem. So he says, of course, the Guru is going to focus on the inner purity being more important or most important in the spiritual pursuit, and this will be the reply of the Guru. So here, કઈ જાતિમાં મોક્ષ છે ને કયા વેશમાં મોક્ષ, પછી એનો નિશ્ચય ન બને, ઘણા ભેદ એ દોષ. That is the problem. Multiple opinions is the problem.
કઈ જાતિમાં મોક્ષ છે, કયા વેશમાં મોક્ષ, એનો નિશ્ચય ના બને, ઘણા ભેદ એ દોષ.